You guys, I need you to understand something. When James Cameron shows up, this isn't a box office race. It's a meteor event. It's not opening weekend. It's every theater manager suddenly remembers what premium format money smells like. Because Cameron doesn't release movies, he releases economic weather. And this past weekend, that weather rolled in hard. Avatar 3 on top, counter-programming trying to survive, holdovers refusing to leave, and the holiday corridor lining up like it wants to turn theaters into a 24/7 human conveyor belt. So let's break down what actually happened and what it means for the industry and for Disney's Please Love Us Again tour that basically been running since the last time they told fans they were wrong for having eyes. What's up, critical nerds? Welcome back to the channel. If you're a returning subscriber, you already know the rules. We follow the money, we read the trades, and we don't clap like trade seals. And if you're new here, welcome. Want you to do me a favor though, kind of helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Smash that like button, subscribe, and punch the notification bell like it just told you superhero fatigue isn't real. All right, let's get into the weekend box office for Friday through Sunday, December 19th through 21st, plus a quick nod to Thursday previews, since that's how studios try to win the weekend before the weekend even starts. The King of Pandora returns. Yes, that's right. Avatar Fire and Ash finished number one for the weekend with an $88 million domestic opening. Now, worldwide, $345 million, with 257 of that being international. So yes, Avatar Fire and Ash opens to $88 million in North America, and immediately the internet does what it always does. Only $88 million? Is Avatar dead? Meanwhile, in the real world, it also launches to $345 million worldwide, the second biggest global opening of 2025 behind Zootopia 2. Now, here's the nuance. That domestic opening is about 35% lower than Way of the Water. But Reuters and AP both point out the obvious. These movies don't live and die by opening weekend. Cameron's whole brand has legs. And the big story this weekend is premium formats doing the heavy lifting. AP reports 66% of the opening weekend came from premium screens, and 56% of audiences chose 3D. Now, let me translate that for you guys in the back. The I'll wait for streaming crowd is still there, but this is the event crowd showed up and paid the upcharge. Also, China showed up huge. Again, AP notes an opening weekend of $57.6 million in China, even topping the previous two Avatar films there. So if you're wondering why Hollywood keeps letting James Cameron disappear into the ocean for 5 years at a time, well, this is why. Although Avatar was huge, this was not a one-horse weekend by any means. Studios came in with the, if you can't beat Avatar, at least sell something else strategy. At number 2, Angel Studios' animated David and Goliath swings in at $22 million, and AP calls it the studio's best opening weekend. That's a legit number, especially against an Avatar weekend. Then you have Lionsgate's thriller The Housemaid opening to $19 million. AP notes the budget is about $35 million, which is exactly the kind of mid-budget adult movie Hollywood pretends doesn't exist anymore. Well, that is until it works. Then SpongeBob, The Search for SquarePants, pulls in $16 million. Now, that's not Avatar money by any stretch, but it's a solid family counter-programming right before Christmas. So across the board, theaters didn't just get one big title, they got a full menu. And that matters a lot going into the holiday corridor. Now let's talk about the movies that are already in theaters that are still collecting rent. We got Zootopia 2 coming in at number 5, $14.5 million weekend. $282.8 million domestic total. So it's still growing strong. And I think thanks to China, it's crossed the $1 billion mark. I'd have to double check those numbers. Number 6, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I think this is the second weekend for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and it dropped pretty hard. It dropped 63%, but still pulled in $7.25 million and now stands at $108.9 million domestically. And then you got Wicked for Good still hanging around with $4.3 million this weekend and $320.5 million domestically. And this is why the holiday season is a cheat code. The big new thing hits and the holdovers don't immediately collapse. They just get pushed down the chart. So I got to give a quick shout out to the movie nerd headline of the weekend. A24 drops Marty Supreme in 6 theaters. It makes $875,000 in AP notes. It's the best per theater average of the year. It's $145,000 per theater, a record high for A24. Now, that's the old school rollout play. Make it feel exclusive, build demand, and then expand on Christmas. So here's my big picture takeaway in all this. Reuters frames the weekend as the start of a massive holiday corridor surge and notes theaters are hoping Fire and Ash helps keep momentum rolling into 2026. They also cite ComScore data that 2025 domestic ticket sales are about 1.3% above 2024, but still 22.5% below 2019. Meaning the recovery story is still, well, let's just say, complicated. But weekends like this are exactly what the industry needs. One massive event plus multiple successful counter-programming releases plus holdovers with some staying power. That's not a one-weekend miracle. That's called an ecosystem. So, got to throw it to you guys out there, critical nerds. What did you see this past weekend? Did you go full Pandora and pay the IMAX tax? Or did you do the counter programming with Housemaid, David, or SpongeBob? Drop your take in the comments, and if you want more box office breakdowns through the holiday corridor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend who still says movies are dead. With that, I'm the Critical Nerd, and I will see you in the next one.